In a tornado
news with Dave Delachase.
Welcome and good morning. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday morning. I'm Dave Delachase. Though the sun eventually made its way to the area, it was a wet and stormy path to get there, with severe weather starting the day for many in the Mohawk Valley yesterday. But what do things look like for today? For that, we turn to meteorologist Eric Gage for more. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Dave. Yeah, it's turning out to be a I would say, warm and somewhat muggy start to the day. Quiet for now, but I also want to give a bit of a speech on exactly what happened yesterday, because a tornado popped up and everyone's like, where were the warnings? Where was the information for it? I want to let you guys know what happened. So first, let's take a live look in Cooperstown right now. Quiet and I would say dry conditions, but dry being as in rain showers. Obviously, it is a little bit humid as well. The radar. This is a tool we use to search for rotation in the atmosphere, debris signatures, and sometimes these signatures go undetected. These radar beams shoot signals up into the air, and it goes up at a slight angle. So there are certain areas in central New York where the radar beam is just high enough where it can't detect rotation near the surface. So unfortunately, that was the case yesterday. I wish we could provide the warnings prior to that, but even with all the modern technology, sometimes things like that do happen. But we're going to keep an eye on the radar throughout the day today, of course, with any developments of any storms that do develop. Now, this morning, as I mentioned, it's warm, it's muggy, temperatures upper 70s, low 80s in parts of the valleys, mid 70s up in the North Country. Southern valleys, mid-70s, 76 Cooperstown, and 75 in Oneonta. And today we're starting out muggy, but you can see here between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. we're seeing the potential for a few scattered storms. One or two of them could be on the stronger side. We're going to talk about the potential and how things will shape up throughout the rest of the day and for the start of the work week straight ahead. Dave?
Thanks a lot, Eric. This is video sent to us by viewer Mike Phalanx, showing us the funnel of what appears to be a tornado from miles away. As you can see from the aftermath, the strong winds turned things upside down in West Winfield, in one case wrapping a canoe around power lines. The tornado also peeled back roofs of homes and walls as well. We are continuing to learn more about the path of destruction, and will no doubt have more on the damage this caused as more details emerge. Mayor John Stevens.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back, everyone. Happy Sunday. Our first full weekend of summer has been shaping up to be pretty summer-like. Some storms, humidity, heat, some sunshine yesterday, and some sunshine to start today. A live look at downtown Utica right now. It's hazy out there with tropical dew points yet again. We are in this very humid weather pattern with temperatures already at 81 degrees right now. It does feel like 85 factoring in that humidity. And throughout the day today, it will be initially dry, an isolated storm chance here and there, but we have an approaching front, and I'll get to that in just a minute because we got a larger picture. We can show all the graphics indicating where the fronts are. And this could fire up a strong storm or two. And we'll keep an eye on those as they develop throughout the afternoon. But the main story following today, lower humidity. Tomorrow, we'll see relief. About a week or so straight of high heat, high humidity. We'll actually see a bit of relief, and it does return by Tuesday and Wednesday, however, as we head into the middle of next week. Bigger picture. So this whole weekend, we've talked about the random pop-up storms here and there, and this is because of just a messy stationary front that is producing just a traffic jam of some showers and storms in the atmosphere, at least for yesterday. But today, this actually wobbles north and allows a cold front to develop on the back side of this. You can actually see the initial line of that cold front right there, that line of rain. And ahead of these showers, we call this the zone of where, well, not officially, but just a zone of where severe storms are possible, behind a warm sector and ahead of a cold front. And this will sweep through our area by this afternoon, causing the potential for a strong storm or two. One or two of them could rotate, and that's a concern we're keeping an eye out for today. And our skycast, you can see here for now, initially dry. Then we'll see a few pop-up showers and storms arrive this evening. This model here a little bit less bullish on these storms, but the point being is we're going to see a few pop-up storms arriving by this evening. And although we're not going to have a broadcast tonight at 6 p.m., you can always download the Storm Tracker weather app right there below me. You can scan the code. It will send you notifications of severe thunderstorm warnings to your phone if you are having any outdoor plans today, to make sure you're weather aware as it does pass. But following this, we'll see a few lingering showers and drizzle by Monday morning. And then by Monday evening, we'll see some sunshine peek out and lower humidity, which would be a very welcome sight here in central New York. But again, today, a risk of some stronger storms. Of course, the main risk being flooding with the high humidity in the air, and then some stronger wind gusts as well. Your 7-day forecast. We've got 80s today, 70s tomorrow. We're back into the 80s by the middle of the week as humidity returns with some storms, and we dry out a little bit as we head into Thursday and Friday. And a trivia question: why do stars twinkle?
Looking at these choices here.
I tried to make it difficult to try to.
Well, what I love is that every time that I am back here, I always feel like I learned something from you guys. So I'm going to say space dust passes in front of the stars. B.
It will be C. It's turbulence in the atmosphere. If you go to a place in the United States that has very quiet conditions like Arizona, those telescopes that can see the stars, a lot less interference, the stars twinkle a lot less. The stars don't twinkle if you go out in space. The telescopes take pictures, yeah.
Fascinating.
So the turbulence of the atmosphere, the winds, the clouds, they also twinkle the stars a little bit.
See, like I said, I learn something new every time I'm here. Well, thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate that. All right, we'll be back with more knowledge from Eric, no doubt, right after this. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for this half hour of Weekend Today. I'm Dave Delachase. It was a stormy start to our Saturday, but the sun seems to have returned this morning. Meteorologist Eric Gage joins us now with what to expect the rest of today and as we start the week. Eric.
Yes, and after some very rainy systems yesterday, we're quiet this morning. In fact, let's take a live look at the Cavey Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. It's a bit hazy out there across the region. Matter of fact, pretty much all of central New York, a little hazy, a little humid, upper 70s in Cooperstown, other spots climbing into the 80s. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, a live radar. Quiet conditions here for now, but our attention, of course, is going to be from an approaching cold front out in the west. And ahead of that, of course, a storm or two could develop. One or two could be on the stronger side. Local temperatures already eclipsing the 80-degree mark in Westmoreland and Westernville, 82 up in Lowville, 76 Little Falls. To the south, 79 Sherburne, 78 Cooperstown, 77 in Oneonta. And this morning, we start out dry. Sunshine gives way to a few scattered storms this evening. And following today, we could see a bit of a relief in that humidity. But we'll talk, of course, first off about those storm chances in that forecast straight ahead. Dave?
Thanks a lot. Pardon me. Thanks a lot, Eric. A free-flowing natural gas leak.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. We are starting out this Sunday rather quiet with humid conditions, temperatures soaring in some spots already in the 80s. A live look at downtown Utica right now. You can see the hazy skies, sunshine, officially 81 degrees, and our humidity back up to tropical levels once more as our temperatures will continue to climb into the mid 80s by this afternoon and this evening. A heads up though, if you have any plans today, outdoor plans, there's a potential for one or two storms similar to yesterday to produce some gusty winds, some minor flooding, in fact, isolated flooding in locations that do see the storms. Potential for some hail as well as a non-zero risk for tornadoes. Similar to yesterday, these storms can rotate very weakly. It's, again, not a very common thing to take place here locally. But if you want to remain weather aware, even if we're not on broadcast, download the app right there below me. You can scan it with your phone, and it will take you to the App Store or the Google Play Store if you have an Android, and it will send you notifications of warnings, nearby lightning strikes, nearby downpours. If you are having any outdoor plans today, and you want to make sure you're weather aware. But back to the radar right now, quiet and dry. Our attention sticks to the west, where we have an approaching cold front. And ahead of this cold front, we could see a storm or two begin to fire up. Following it, though, we'll see a relief in the humidity. Believe it or not, about a week straight of tropical-like conditions, humidity will see a temporary break before it returns again by Tuesday and Wednesday of this coming week. The bigger picture, this entire weekend, we've had this wobbly, messy, stationary front just all over the Northeast, bringing rain, random rain and storm chances throughout the day. Now, following that, it's actually going to slowly start to rise up. It wobbles north, and that's when an attached low pressure and attached cold front begin to sweep through. You can actually see the leading edge of that cold front right there in that rain line. And that'll move through the region. Ahead of that, though, there's a chance for a strong storm or two this afternoon. On our Skycast, initially dry, then of course you can see a couple of these begin to form. It's not, of course, going to be completely widespread, scattered storms. Some locations could remain entirely dry throughout the day today. And then following this front bringing these storms, we'll actually see initial lingering drizzle and clouds for early Monday, followed by some sunshine peeking out by tomorrow evening, along with, of course, that lower humidity. Your 7-day forecast. We warm right back up again on Tuesday into the 80s. Increasing humidity by Wednesday with some scattered storms. Dry weather moves in by Thursday and Friday. And our trivia question, where's human skin the thinnest? And I'll give you a hint because I have no examples right here on the graphic. It is on your face.
Okay, all right. That might fall in line with what I was going to guess. I'm going to guess the lips, or I think that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the lips.
Should I give another hint?
Okay.
It's part of the upper half of your face.
Is it the eyelids?
It's the eyelids.
The eyelids.
And I saw that too. And before I even looked at the answer, I'm like, got to be somewhere in the face.
Yeah.
I was thinking lips too, and then it was eyelids. I'm like, I never thought of that being skin, but.
I'm thinking of how easily you can scratch or cut or rip anything up here.
Yeah.
So it seemed like it had to be somewhere within this region. So all right, Eric, again, I always learn something from you when I'm here. Thank you, sir. A huge portion of the country is baking right now under a heat dome that is not letting up. Weather patterns over much of the U.S. are simply stalled. Other parts of the country are trapped under severe storms. NBC's George Solis reports.
Frightening moments as tornado sirens blared overnight in Rock Valley, Iowa, warning residents to evacuate immediately because of imminent flooding after a nearby levee broke. The water too much to contain.
We could not get them out fast enough.
Rescue crews quickly mobilizing to try and evacuate people from some 500 homes.
There was a couple people on their roofs because it was the only place they could get to.
Wow, what a mess, guys.
Heavy rains for days, forcing rivers from their banks. From the air, harrowing scenes like these. Entire neighborhoods underwater. With a flood emergency already in effect, this afternoon, Governor Kim Reynolds extending a disaster declaration for some of the hardest hit areas. Meanwhile, extreme heat gripping parts of the country. More than 100 million people under heat alerts from California to New York. In some places, it feels like it's more than 100 degrees. Cities like Philadelphia are sweltering.
Scale of 1 to just torture, what would you rank this heat at right now?
For me, torture?
Today, Baltimore hitting a record 101 degrees.
It's been terrible. I just been making sure I've been staying inside.
The heat turning deadly in Idaho. Officials there reporting 2 heat-related deaths. The CDC is tracking the extreme heat across the country in real time. Last year saw more than 2,300 heat-related deaths, up from years prior. And hospitals across the country are bracing for more patients, as the extreme heat just won't let up.
Are you seeing a spike in patients coming in with heat-related injuries?
Right now we are seeing a spike. It's a little bit of a mixed picture with patients who have chronic medical problems, and their problems are being exacerbated by the heat illness too.
News with Luke Radel.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Luke Radel. It's been a day filled with severe weather and even a tornado warning or two, so I can't think of a better person to turn to than our chief meteorologist, Bill Curtis. He's in the Weather Center for us tonight, tracking it all. Good evening, Bill.
Yeah, very busy day, Luke. We've been on top of the radar all afternoon, and we've been monitoring storms. We are happy to say that we did not get a tornado in our area. We have not had any evidence of it so far, even though we had a couple of warnings today. This is the current scene. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The tornado watch has expired. The severe weather in our area has come to an end. We are still tracking some thunderstorms and downpours that are crossing I-88 into Delaware and Schoharie County. But again, the seriousness of this, again, we're looking at some locally heavy rain and some flashes of lightning, but we're not expecting any severe weather to take place for the remainder of tonight. Current temperature 68 degrees. The dew point is going down. It is turning much more comfortable out there. Again, no confirmed tornadoes today. Cooler weather as we head into tomorrow, actually dramatically cooler compared to the past several days. We're looking at warmth and humidity to return as we head into the middle of the week. Showers tonight, low of 62. Again, tracking a much cooler start to the work week. A look at the forecast is coming up. Luke, back to you.
Bill, great news for those of us who have to wear suits. Thank you very much.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Much cooler weather is working into central New York tonight, and we're going to see some pretty big changes as we start our Monday. Let's take a look at the radar. Things are quieting down. We have a line of showers and thunderstorms that's departing Otsego County, moving into Schoharie and Delaware County. Just some rain, locally heavy rain with that, and some rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning. You'll probably still see that if you live in Otsego County looking to the south and east. But we are in much better shape, and we're not going to be dealing with severe weather here. We'll get a nice break over the next couple of days. Take a look at this photo. This was a lightning strike, the aftermath of a lightning strike on a tree. This picture in Cedarville, taken by Richard Cunningham. A reminder, this is why we ask people to avoid being under trees during a thunderstorm, because if the tree gets hit, not only could it fall over, but the bark can explode and you can get seriously injured. So again, best place to be in a thunderstorm, either in a car or better yet in a structure. But again, hopefully we won't be dealing with that here for at least a few more days. Live look at downtown Utica, temperature of 69 degrees. We've got much cooler weather on the way. In fact, look at this drop in humidity. In fact, you probably already feel it out there just walking out the door. There's been a noticeable shift. We've been dealing with very humid weather for several days, and we've got some refreshing weather on the way. Dew points are going to continue to drop into the 50s, and it's going to feel refreshing as we head into tomorrow. A strong cold front rolling through the region tonight, again producing showers, thunderstorms, the front moving to the east. In its wake, a northwest wind will bring cooler temperatures to our area, along with unsettled weather tomorrow. Are looking at our Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Scattered showers linger. Overnight lows drop down into the low 60s. A gloomy Monday, but I think for a lot of you, you're going to enjoy it, especially it's going to be a nice reprieve from the heat and humidity that we've been experiencing from the past several days. High temperatures only in the 60s, so again, a dramatic change. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies, overnight lows drop down into the 50s. We expect the weather to warm up again on Tuesday. It's going to be more summer-like with sunshine, high temperatures in the 80s. Showers tonight, low of 62. Again, a cool, breezy, a showery Monday with high temperatures in the upper 60s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine on Tuesday, much warmer, a high of 83. A cold front arrives on Wednesday. Showers and thunderstorms are expected, 80 for the high. Cooler, partly sunny on Thursday and Friday. Another cold front arrives on Saturday. Showers and thunderstorms, temperatures in the 70s as we look ahead to Sunday. We'll be right back.